Hi, Upper Class. This is your art lesson. Now, I'm going to do my absolute best to show you what to do on the computer. So bear with me. Let me share my screen and I will tell you what the objective is. So the objective is, can I paint a flower in the style of Georgia O'Keeffe? Georgia O'Keeffe. Can I paint a flower in the style of Georgia O'Keeffe? Let's have a look. Who was Georgia O'Keeffe? She is. She is a famous artist from America. She was famous for painting flowers. She was born in 1887 and died in 1986. So that was a very long time ago. She was born in 1887 and she died 2 years before even I was born. So now we're going to have a look at some of her paintings, and we've looked at a couple already. You might recognize this one. So here we have a white flower, and can you see she's got lots of light areas and then some shading in the middle, and we've practiced that, haven't we? We've been using black to make our colors darker and white to make our colors lighter. Again, here she's got some really basic colors. The main color is red, and she's got light red and dark red, and then the background is quite simple too. So she chooses one or two colors and uses those. Okay, this is a lovely one. So she's painted a purple flower, and you can see really clearly where she's used the white for the highlights and then black for the dark shadowy areas. Really gives it some depth and makes it look 3D, doesn't it? They're very pretty. Here's a more simple one, but still just as effective. It looks lovely. Okay, so Georgia O'Keeffe's style, she would fill the page. She painted big flowers so that they took up the whole page that she was using, and there's hardly any background, and she didn't really include much of the leaves and stem either. The main focus was the flower. So I'm going to have a go at doing this. So I will need paper and a pencil first. So I've got my reminder this time to stop sharing the screen so that you can see. So I've chosen a flower. I've got this one. And I chose this just because it's big and I think it would be easier for me to draw. There is another picture on the slides of a flower that you could use, but it's a rose, and I did think it's very pretty, but I will probably struggle to draw it. So the first thing you will need to do is get a piece of paper and a pencil like me and draw your flower. Now remember, Georgia O'Keeffe filled the page with the flower. So you need to draw it really, really big. And then you might include a little bit of the stem and leaves, but not very much. So can you see, just to save time, I did this before we started. I filled the page and I've drawn the flower to the best of my ability. I've included a tiny bit of what will be the stem down here, just to add a little bit of green, but not very much. Now the next thing I'm going to do, because I've been using watercolours, haven't I? I'm going to start painting my flower. Now, the main colour is pink, so I'm going to use pink mainly, and then I'll use some slightly darker pink here. And as I get further out, my plan is to use lighter pink, so I will add white. So let me tilt my screen a bit, and then you can see. Right. I'm a bit nervous. Okay, so I need to start off with pink. Now, the nice thing about watercolours are dry quickly, so if you need to go over them again, you don't have to wait very long. So I'm going to start off with some pink, but this pink is a little too dark, so I'm going to add some white to lighten it up. There we go. You see how it's gone a little bit lighter. So I'm going to start from here. I'm just going to lightly brush. Now I found with this, it's a lot easier to keep it neat if you use a smaller brush. Now I know lots of you will not have watercolours at home. I know I don't have watercolours at home. If you don't have watercolours, that's fine. You can use any paints that you like, as long as you are painting or colouring in the style of Georgia O'Keeffe. So if you're painting a pink flower like I am, I won't see lots and lots of different rainbowy colours. I'll see lots of different shades of one or two colours, won't I? So as long as you're painting in the style of Georgia O'Keeffe, or colouring, I should add, then it's fine, because I understand not everybody will have watercolours. But if you are painting, the smaller the brush, the better, because the easier it will be to get that detail in. Now, I've started with my petals. This painting is going to take me quite a long time. So now I'm just going to show you how in the middle, I'm going to do ever so slightly darker shade of pink, and that will really give my flower a 3D look. Here we go. Can you see it's ever so slightly darker? And the great thing about these paints are they dry so quickly, you can go over it again if you need to, and you don't have to wait too long. Okay, now the further out we go, the lighter the pink is. I'm going to keep looking at my flower. A bit dirty because I dropped it. But on the outside edge of the petals, it's really light. So I want to even lighter them. I'm going to add more white. So on the outside edge, I'm going to add a really, really light pink, so that it gets even lighter as we go out. Okay, now I'm happy with that part for now. I'm going to look at the middle. Now the middle is it's a yellowy green. So I'm going to choose green. Now, as you can see, the green on this palette is quite vivid. I think it's a bit too dark for what I want. So I'm going to mix it. And then I'm going to add some white to lighten it up. Okay. Don't forget, if you're painting, you will need a cup of water to hand so that you can rinse your brush. You don't want to be mixing the green and the white on the palette. Okay, right, I'm happy with my green, so I'm going to go ahead and start. Now, it doesn't matter if your painting isn't absolutely perfect, because art is all about interpretation, isn't it? Not everybody likes the same things. So I wouldn't say that I'm a fantastic artist, but some people might really like my paintings. Right, okay, and if you look in the middle, there's a little hint of yellow, isn't there? So I'm just going to add some yellow. I'm going to try and blend it in to the green area so that it doesn't stand out too much, just so that it's really subtle. Added some white just to lighten it up a bit. So I'm mixing my colours and really thinking about where they're going rather than doing block colours. I've got a little bit of a mix here to give a really good sense of depth. Okay, so what I will do next after this video is I will continue to paint my flower in this style. I'll continue with my darker pink around here and my lighter pinks around here, getting lighter as we go out. And then Georgia O'Keeffe liked to paint her background in one colour. And they were usually quite light colours. Now, so that there's a nice contrast with the rest of my painting, I think I'm going to paint my background a light blue. So I've got my dark blue, and now I'm going to add, you guessed it, I'm adding white to make it lighter. That's a nice blue. So then I will paint my background a light blue. The idea is that you will fill the whole page with this painting. So any areas that you have not painted as part of your flower, you will paint as your background. So it's really important, Hopper class, that you don't rush this. Really, really take your time, because I want it to be really clear that you have painted in the style of Georgia O'Keeffe. And what would be really lovely is if, when you've posted pictures on Tapestry, I'd quite like to print them off and create some artwork in our breakout, so that when you come back, some of your lockdown artwork is there. So when you take a picture of it, try and get it a full page photo. And then I can try and print as many as I can and see if we can make some kind of display for our breakout. Okay, because that's what we would have done if you were in school. So we'll see what we can do with this. Now, if you don't have any paints whatsoever in your house, you can still do this using pencils, maybe crayons. Maybe if you don't have paints, try pencils and crayons and see which comes out better. You could post a picture of both and tell me what you think. That's mine so far. Can you see how long that took? And I haven't even done half of it. So please don't rush. Take your time. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do a bit and then come back to it later, as long as it's your best work, okay? I look forward to seeing them. And let me show you, just in case you don't have any flowers, because I didn't, I had to go and buy these. I've taken some pictures of some of these flowers so you can draw from the picture. If you've got flowers in your garden, then go and draw those, that's fine. So I took a picture of this lovely one. This one might be quite challenging to draw. And I've also included a picture of this one. So if you don't have any flowers at all to draw, you can pause the screen on either one of these and you can draw these, okay? Have fun, and I'll really look forward to seeing your paintings on Tapestry. Take care, everyone. Bye.